Once upon a time, in a cozy little village nestled beside a vast green forest, lived a sweet and cheerful little girl. She was adored by everyone in the village, but no one loved her more than her grandmother. One sunny afternoon, her grandmother gifted her a beautiful little cap made of red velvet. The girl loved it so much that she wore it everywhere she went, and soon everyone began to call her Little Red Riding Hood. One morning, Little Red Riding Hood's mother called her into the kitchen. "My dear," she said, "your grandmother is not feeling well. I've packed a basket with some fresh bread and a jar of sweet honey for you to take to her. It will surely make her feel better." She handed the basket to her daughter and added, "Now, remember my words. Go straight to your grandmother's house. Don't wander off the path, and most importantly, do not talk to any strangers you might meet along the way." Little Red Riding Hood, eager to help her grandmother, promised, "I'll be very careful, mother. I promise." With a happy heart, she took the basket and skipped off into the forest. The sun streamed through the leaves of the tall trees, birds chirped merrily from the branches, and colorful butterflies danced in the air. It was a beautiful day. As she was walking along the path, a big, cunning wolf suddenly appeared from behind a tree. He smiled a wide, toothy grin and said in a friendly voice, "Good morning, little girl. What a lovely day." "Where might you be off to so early?" Forgetting her mother's stern warning, Little Red Riding Hood replied innocently, "Good morning, Mr. Wolf. I'm on my way to visit my grandmother. She lives just on the other side of the forest, and she's feeling a bit under the weather." The wolf's eyes gleamed. He had a wicked idea. "Oh, how thoughtful of you!" he exclaimed. "Look at all these beautiful wildflowers growing all around. I'm sure your grandmother would love a lovely bouquet. Why don't you take a moment to pick some for her?" Little Red Riding Hood thought this was a wonderful suggestion. She stepped off the path and began gathering a colorful bunch of flowers, completely forgetting about the time and her promise. While she was happily picking daisies and bluebells, the wicked wolf didn't waste a second. He dashed through the woods, taking the shortest route to the grandmother's cottage. He crept up to the door and knocked gently. "Who is it?" called the grandmother from inside. The wolf, trying to sound like a little girl, replied sweetly, "It's me, Little Red Riding Hood. I've brought you some bread and honey." The grandmother, too weak to get up, called out, "Just lift the latch, my dear. I'm in bed." The wolf lifted the latch, burst into the room, and without a moment's hesitation, he quickly and safely locked the poor grandmother inside a large wooden wardrobe. Then the wolf slipped on her nightgown and cap, pulled the covers up to his chin, and lay in bed waiting. A short while later, Little Red Riding Hood arrived, her arms full of flowers. She knocked on the door. "Grandmother, it's me. May I come in?" The wolf, disguising his voice, croaked, "Come in, my dear. The door is open." Little Red Riding Hood stepped inside. The cottage seemed darker than usual. As she approached the bed, she felt that something was not quite right. "Oh, grandmother," she said, "what big eyes you have." The wolf replied in his gruff voice, "All the better to see you with, my dear." She moved a little closer. "And grandmother, what big ears you have." The wolf answered, "All the better to hear you with, my dear." Little Red Riding Hood took another step, her heart beginning to pound. "But grandmother, what big teeth you have." She whispered, "All the better to eat you with," roared the wolf, leaping out of the bed and lunging towards her. Just at that very moment, a brave woodsman who had been working nearby heard the commotion. He suspected something was wrong and rushed to the cottage. Seeing the wolf, he quickly scared the fearsome beast away, and it ran deep into the forest, never to be seen again. The woodsman then heard a faint knocking from the wardrobe. He opened the door, and out came the grandmother, shaken but unharmed. Little Red Riding Hood ran to her and gave her a giant hug, tears of relief streaming down her face. "Oh, grandmother, I'm so sorry. I should have listened to mother. I'll never talk to strangers again." And so, Little Red Riding Hood learned a very important lesson that day. Always listen to those who care for you, and be cautious of strangers. From that day on, she was always careful, and they all lived happily ever after. Thank you for listening to our story today. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more classic tales. See you next time.